everyone? Welcome back. Another week, another show. It's Geekonomics. It's a big, big week. We got multiple shows to talk about coming up this weekend. And, of course, Bryon is going to hit you with the last marketing of this season until the next time this comes around.
Yes.
So buckle in, kids, because here it comes. Hit us with it, Bryon. What you got?
All right. So this Saturday night, we're going to Blitzkrieg.
The Rock-a-Locka Luau.
The Luau. I will be there.
Everyone got their shirts?
Yes, I got my Hawaiian shirt, Josh.
Yes, I still have to find mine.
Oh, Josh, do you have yours?
Yep.
Now, you guys are going to have to make sure you bring them with you.
I know. I just realized that I have to pack it and bring it with me.
Yes. So I'm super pumped for this. Doors open around 6:15. Me and my brother will get there early. I know Alex, our friend Alex, is coming.
Yes.
We will make sure to get the same spot, save you guys 2 seats. I'm super pumped because last year was my first luau, and I missed the first half.
You did.
And it's so cool how far, I think we've seen every show except we missed the one around Christmas time.
Yeah. Maybe one other one, random one.
I know I missed one because of hockey.
Yes.
Yeah. You sound lower now.
I'm away from the mic.
Oh,
Which is fine.
This is fine. But I'm super pumped for this one. It should be a lot of fun. The next day, Sunday, right in Enfield, Connecticut, on Enfield Street.
Enfield Street.
The American Legion Hall. We have East of the River Comic Book and Collectible Show.
Yes.
9 a.m. to 3 p.m. 2 floors. It should be a great show. The weather's going to be nice this weekend.
It's
not going to be hot.
Scotty Mania.
It's going to be Scotty Mania.
Scotty Mania.
Yeah.
Sunday.
I will be working the door.
Down to Scotty Mania.
Also, I will be selling stuff. I spent all day yesterday going through and getting everything together. It was a lot. I have a lot of new stuff.
Nice.
I hope it's a good show. The summer one is a tough one.
Yeah, it depends on the weather.
The weather's going to be nice. It's going to be 87 that day. It's going to be sunny.
Yeah.
I think there should be a good turnout.
Hope so.
Our February show was a great turnout.
Yeah.
A lot of families came out to that one, so I'm really hoping we can continue that streak. The next big show will be...
It's a great time to go to a comic show for parents to stock up on things for summer reading.
Yeah.
So you can go there, get your comics, stock up on things. You can get stuff for the kids for cheap and get them. Then you can bring them on vacations, wherever you want to go, wherever you need them for.
Yeah.
You can use them, and the kids can read.
And I will be selling.
And there's pictures.
I have a gigantic long box, all my comics 50 cents, and then I'm going to have a short box, all $1.
There you go.
50 cents and $1.
Hey, can't go wrong there.
Can't go wrong. Also, the next big show will be at the end of July. That will be the Manchester show.
Yes.
Andrew show, which is always big.
That's the toy show.
So we'll after we get after this, we'll start promoting that. And then we don't do these shows again until the fall. Till October.
Yeah, I mean, there'll be stuff going on. There'll be Terrificon and
but
all the shows.
They got all the money in the world to promote their shows.
I know what I'm saying, but there'll be other stuff going on. Like CliffsCon will be going on.
But
September,
the local stuff,
Yeah, and I think he does his show in July as well. So maybe he doesn't. Maybe he takes July off. I'm not sure.
His small one. I got to get on that. I got to either go or sell at one of his small ones.
If I remember, he did one at the end of July to sort of coincide with the
I can't remember
Terrificon.
how he does it now. Because I remember they changed the dates for Terrificon last year, I think.
Yeah, because it used to be the start of August. Now it's mid-August or end of August.
Yeah. There it is. Yeah. I'm not sure.
Okay. We'll worry about that later. But we hope to see you Saturday night or Sunday.
Yeah, Saturday night. It's going to be huge.
It's going to be massive. It's going to be awesome.
The card's intense.
Yeah, the card is stacked. Also, big news for Blitzkrieg Pro Luau. They're going to be part of this retro wrestling game that's been out.
Like an 8-bit game, right?
It's been out for a couple of years now, and they just made an announcement that it will be, they're going to include their Luau ring come September. So, Blitzkrieg Pro will be in a video game, which is really cool. Little
info for you. For the Blitzkrieg Pro Rock-a-Locka 7th Annual Luau, they're going to have the mother of all scrambles. Is one of the big matches.
Yep.
So far announced for it, Jay Karma. Wrench and Resolve, their tag team. Lady Killjoy from the J. George team.
Yep.
50 Cal. Will Strauss from the fake Pretty Deadly. Spike, your man Ryan Mooney.
Yep. Yeah, I know. That's where he's going to be.
Notorious Mimi. And Javi, formerly of NXT fame. He was formerly known as Javier Bernal.
Nice.
And then a couple matches that are also announced. No More Heroes, which is Kirby Wackerman and the guys in vests.
Yes.
Up against Delta House and a teammate to be named.
Ooh.
Andy Brown versus Sammy Diaz, another match.
Yeah, that's good.
East Coast Bastard Crew, Jeremy Leary, and Logan Black up against the Ancestral City Shooters. And then the a tag team, I don't know if it's, I think it's for the championship. It's B3TJC. It's Becca and TJ Crawford.
That's their,
against Merkel Generation.
Yep.
Then the Haas match of Bryce Donovan
yes.
and Dijak.
Ooh.
Priscilla Kelly up against Charles Mason. And the main event of the evening for the Blitzkrieg Pro Bedlam Championship. Your champion, CPA, up against the monster, Cruel.
This is going to be out of the world. That match is going to be off. It's going to blow the house off.
Yes.
Like the roof off the house.
Doors off the house.
Oh, my God. Things are going to be destroyed.
Yes.
Hey, Mark.
Yes.
Do you remember how they do the scrambles?
Scrambles it's kind of like, it's like a mix between...
It's like a battle royale, but...
It's a mix between Royal Rumble and Elimination Chamber.
Now, didn't they have pool toys? They have pool toys.
You have all sorts of things.
Because they tell you to bring pool toys.
Yes. That might be for one of the other matches, but...
I think it's one of the other matches.
Yeah. But for this one, 2 people start the match, and then every couple minutes, a new person comes in. And then once everyone's in the ring...
Then it starts
Then
officially?
then it's whoever gets the pinfall wins the match.
Ooh. Wow.
It's not like an elimination situation.
They can't get thrown out.
You have to, there has to be a pinfall.
Wow.
So I think that's how they do it. I can't remember exactly.
But
I kind of think
it
that's
was. I remember it also.
This is how they initially Initially, it's why it's called the Blitzkrieg Pro Bedlam Championship. Initially, to award the championship, this was
the Bedlam was
the way they did it was the Bedlam scrambles.
Okay.
And then that's how they did this. And I think this is the Tim Jensen Memorial belt.
No, I thought that was a different. I'm pretty sure that.
I think it's this.
Is this? I thought
this was it. I could not. I might not. I might be wrong. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I have to look it up.
Yeah.
Well,
we'll find out.
Last year I missed the pool where they used all the pool supplies.
Yeah, that was another match. It wasn't this match.
But then they were used.
Yeah, that was like the Candyman. That was a Candyman Kirby Rackerman.
Okay.
But like the stuff was left out and was used during the. Because that's why I think you can be eliminated, but once it gets to the end, it has to be a pinfall or something like that.
I think it's something like that. Yeah, I can't remember. They'll talk about it when we get. We'll talk about it next week. We'll tell you.
Yeah.
We'll tell you how it goes.
Yeah. So
it's fun. It's all fun.
Yeah, it's all fun. Thank you for the list there, Mark.
And there'll be Polish meats.
Oh, as much as I'm looking forward to these matches, it's the food, man.
Yeah. BYOB.
Was it Alex last time?
Alex went a little bit.
And they gave him a ton of food, and
he ordered everything.
I can't eat it all.
Nobody just gave him anything. He ordered everything.
He ordered it not realizing it was a ton of food.
Yeah.
And then I ended up having to finish it for him, which was a tough get.
We gave it to our Tina's family to finish off.
Yeah.
And it's bring your own bubbly, because that's what I'll be doing. Bubbly and water. That's what I'll be doing. And the convenience store is open right downstairs. So you can grab snacks.
Yep. We'll have a cooler, so we'll bring our own cooler as well.
Yeah, I'll have my cooler too.
We'll have ours, so we'll be coming from the races. So we'll be exhausted. It'll be a long day. Which is why I won't be showing up on Sunday. I already told Scott I will not be there. So.
Yeah. Well, I'll be working the door.
Yeah. But I told him I won't be. He's like, come hang out. I'm like, no, I'll be sleeping.
You'll be sleeping. This past weekend, this weekend was like, we talked about this before the show. This past weekend for me Man, I did nothing. And especially Sunday, I felt guilty. Like I am always doing something.
Same.
And then,
I was going to bring this up that I felt the same way. Sunday, I was like looking for something to do. I'm like, I should be doing something.
Right. I took a nap.
Yeah.
I don't take naps, but I was so tired.
That's a lie. You take naps all the time.
I don't.
You fall asleep reading.
There's
a classic picture of you passed out with a laptop on your crotch.
I do fall asleep generally sometimes, but it's very brief.
Yeah.
I don't purposely say I'm seeking out to take a nap.
No, yeah. No one ever seeks to take a nap.
I mean,
unless you're my wife. But most people don't seek to take a nap.
I did on Sunday, and the whole time in my head going, I have a list of things I need to do. I should do them. And it was so hot out. It sapped all my energy. I had
exactly.
no energy, and I just did nothing.
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
Yeah.
But this weekend, busy weekend.
Yes.
So I was kind of like recharged.
Yeah, that's what I
weekend.
said. This is like, that's what I decided. Claire's like, what do you got anything going on? I'm like, nope, and I ain't planning on doing anything.
Right. The same with me.
I'm not doing a darn thing. I mowed the lawn on Friday, and that was the extent of like the things I did.
Yeah, I picked Thursday, the worst day to do it. It was
I waited.
Hotter than all hell.
That's why I waited.
But anyway, the one thing we did watch this past weekend was the 50th anniversary of Jaws. It was on NBC. Peacock has it with a nice little opening from Steven Spielberg.
Oh, nice.
So we watched that. We actually brought the TV outside, and we watched Jaws outside. And it was humorous because there's a lot of shooting of guns and stuff.
Yeah.
And I have the volume cranked, so it's just like the neighbors are probably like, what is going on? Why are people... what's going on?
Yeah.
There's a shark? A land shark?
Land shark?
Man, I haven't watched Jaws in so long. It still holds up. And
I mean, within reason. It's not,
it's for what they pulled off.
Yes.
For practical effect.
Yes. I mean, they actually had to because the shark wouldn't work half the time, so.
Yeah.
It kind of made it scarier because they couldn't use the shark.
Yeah.
If they'd had the ability to use the shark more, it probably wouldn't be as good of a movie. We've talked about this before.
Well, there's a great documentary about Jaws.
There is a great documentary.
Which we don't need to sit here and...
There's also been film studies on the thrill of it because it
couldn't
work. They could only use,
Yeah.
But also, this Jaws is a very important film in movie history because it's the first summer blockbuster.
Yes.
It created the summer blockbuster.
Yes. It also scared a generation from ever swimming in the ocean.
To this day.
I can't go near it.
Even watching this, it made me... It reignites the fear of sharks.
Even pools, sometimes I get a little weary. If I'm by myself...
When you go underwater, when I was a kid, I would go underwater in my grandma's pool, close my eyes, and I envision a shark in the water, and it would scare me.
Yeah.
And I knew there was no shark.
In the water.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's creepy.
Shark go in the water.
Yeah. So
we go in the water.
Yeah. Oh my God.
We don't come out the water.
We don't come out the water.
Some of the dialogue is really humorous. My favorite part was, who's the lead?
Roy Schneider.
Roy Schneider.
Rob Schneider would be a whole different movie.
You could do it.
You could do it.
His wife says,
you can eat that shit all night long.
His wife says to him, you want to just get drunk and fool around? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, what dialogue? Who wrote this? Yeah.
I guess so.
It was kind of like, we need to write something.
Brian, did you ever see any of this, the Broadway play?
Yes, there's a Broadway play.
It's with the guy who played Clint's son, plays him.
Oh, really?
It's like a lot of the behind the... I think if I remember correctly, it's supposed to be like behind the scenes stuff.
Yes, it's like a
it's a mockumentary type of thing. But
like
it's
the producers?
Kind of, yes.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Like just
interesting.
Because I guess the whole time his dad was drunk.
Yes.
And he would just say stuff and they go, just keep it in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. But yeah, it really,
made Narragansett beer a thing.
Oh, yeah. Nasty
Put it on the map.
Well, because what's his name's always drinking it?
Quint is always drinking Narragansett.
He worked. Didn't he work for a case of beer? He said he'd do it for something.
Yeah.
Well,
you do. Yeah.
He wanted money, but
but he also would take free beer.
Yeah. And like the whole scene with them talking and showing their scars, and then it's all classic stuff, and it still holds up as a great movie.
Yeah.
And that whole third act is all on the boat.
Yeah.
And it's
got multiple like levels of moviedom. It's like a horror movie, and it's also a kind of a comedy at parts, and it's also just like a buddy movie. It's like three guys just go on a boat,
the boat
looking for a
part,
shark,
Looking for
and
a
that
shark.
like whole part of the movie is
Yeah.
just basically a buddy
So
movie.
the play
Of them
was
just
called
like hanging out, busting on each other, busting on Richard Dreyfuss's character.
the play was called The Shark Is Broken. It was a play that ran in 2003,
Yeah.
and Alex Brightman, who played Beetlejuice in the
Yes.
played Richard Dreyfuss's character.
Ah.
I think Robert Shaw's son, if I remember correctly. I can't. Yeah, Ian Shaw played his son.
Yeah.
And it's basically just all behind the scenes stuff, because I guess they were actually on the boat for a little bit of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they just started just ribbing on each other, and they just started filming half of it.
That's what the whole part with him like going after like them picking on Richard Dreyfuss's character, Quentin picking on him. That was like Robert Shaw just
Because
picking on Richard Dreyfuss.
Richard Dreyfuss, didn't he wasn't originally in the part, and he was added?
No, he's in the whole movie.
There was something. No.
He
But
was,
I'm saying
there was a conflict of scheduling where they were going to have somebody else play the part, but then last minute the other thing didn't work out, so he was able to be in the movie. So then he came in, but it was also like Richard Dreyfuss's at the time was more of like a stage actor and was known for that, like a thespian type actor. And so this was like his first like at the time was like a first thing for him to do this
first
kind of
movie.
thing. Like right
Breakout
after it
role.
was like right around the time I think he'd also done. This was right after Close Encounters.
Yeah.
And that kind of thing. So it was like he was like an up and coming guy, but not like established like
Yeah.
Robert Shaw and
But like
Roy Schneider was.
But Schneider, and if I remember correctly, Schneider and Shaw had been in the area for like a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Buddying around
Yeah.
before Richard Dreyfuss
Dreyfuss
showed
like
up.
flew in
Yeah,
like
and
on a private
he was
jet.
like the prima donna showing up.
And they kind of like ribbed on him about
Yeah.
it the whole time because he like flew in and would fly out because he was doing something in New York or something, would only be around for certain parts.
I mean, it's
but it
a
makes
lot of
it.
fun.
It
Also,
makes it the movie.
that
that relationship makes that part of the movie.
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
Because
Well,
you had
yeah.
the two like salty sea dogs.
Yeah.
And then the
Well, not even salty
smart
sea,
scientist type
like Roy
guys.
Schneider's
He doesn't
character
like
is,
the water.
Hates the water completely.
No,
he when he gets drunk, he has to get drunk to go on a boat.
There's been rumors, I was just hearing about this recently because of the 50th coming out, that Spielberg or somebody has toyed with the idea of doing a prequel. Or someone just mentioned this.
a
no
movie
reason
about
to.
Quint or something.
Who did I just hear this from?
It sounds
I just
dumb.
no.
Don't even do
It's a
it.
prequel of. Oh, you know what it was? Bert Gershner was interviewing Kevin Smith about Dogma, and Kevin Smith wants to do. Bert Kreischer, yes, wants to do a
Moose
movie
Jaws.
called Moose Jaws.
Well, yes, this has been in the works a long
Yeah.
time.
So he's like actually doing this now. It's like actually happening.
supposedly.
Well, I
'Cause
guess
it was-
Bert's gonna come on as a producer and help fund the movie.
Because it was part of the trilogy. Because it was
Yes,
started
it was like
with
Tusk and that kind of
and
thing.
then Yoga Hosers. Because
Yoga Hosers, and then this
those
is the
were
third
part
one.
of it.
Yeah.
It was part of
Yes.
Tusk, and it's supposed to be with Johnny Depp's
Yeah,
detective character.
exactly. Like,
But it's a Jaws
his
movie
version
with
of like
Moose.
the like Glass Onion.
Yeah.
deal.
Right.
But anyways, so Bert had this idea, or wants to do this movie, and I thought it was a great idea. Like he wants to do the prequel to Jaws about Roy Schneider's character and tell the story of why he's afraid of water. Because he was from New York. Like, why would a guy from New York City have an affliction to water?
But also,
Because there's no, like, the only water in New York City basically is the Hudson River. So what happened in his life that
I don't
made
know
him
if that
so
warrants a movie, though.
affliction? No, but like what, like to delve into that storyline
But
and
also-
make a
but also-
movie
Yeah.
out of it.
being in New York, why would he end up at Narragansett or whatever?
Or like what caused him to have to move
Well,
to
I
Amity
think
and all that.
I know Moose Jaws as a movie takes place in Canada, so I don't think
This is a different
This
movie.
is a different thing.
Different
No,
movie.
if I remember correctly, that thing that Mark's talking about, they were just bouncing stuff back and
Yeah.
forth. But because of that, they both went, oh, well, we could help each other.
Yeah, exactly.
So there might be a,
Yeah.
oh, well, if you want to do this, I'll help you, and then
Yeah.
we'll write this, and yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it'd be funny. What they do is get Tony Hale, no, Tony, what's his name, who did Andor, right? And then you have him come in, and you do 2 seasons, 22 episodes of this epic tale about this guy who's afraid of water,
Yeah.
and people will love it.
Yeah.
That's what you do.
That's what you do.
That's what you do.
Yeah.
And wait, what's his character's
Kind of
name?
reinvigorate Andor.
Huh?
Reinvigorate Diego Luna.
Yeah, no, yeah. Diego Luna will play him
Yeah,
for
like
no
his
reason.
whole career like got reinvented because of that, like coming back
But
and doing
who's,
Andor.
who
what
was
was the sheriff's name?
Schneider's name? Right, in Jaws.
Officer Brody.
Yes.
So it would just be called Brody.
Yeah.
Like Andor.
Yeah,
Just
good.
Brody.
I'd watch that.
It's just called Brody.
Like a cop movie, like a cop show.
Every time he sees water, he has PTSD.
Well, because you have to have like a reasoning for why he is afraid of water in Jaws. So it'd be set in like the 70s. So it'd be like a period piece. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
But
well,
it'd be
you
like all
do
about
it in the
like
60s.
what happened, or the 60s or whatever. But what happened to him that first made him have to move to Amity? Like, why did he leave the police department in New York City?
Mm-hmm.
And secondarily, like, why is he so petrified of water and going out in the ocean in the first place? Like,
But
why
again,
is it a thing?
My thing with that was always, if this guy is so afraid of water, why would he move to Amity? Which is basically an island.
Because there's a beach community, so he just figured he'd be on the beach. He wouldn't have to go out
he
on
doesn't
the
have
boat.
to go on the water. He's just a sheriff.
Yeah.
He's not like beach patrol.
Yeah, he's not like
No,
the
but it's just
Coast Guard or anything.
The shark made him.
Well,
have
his
to
son
face
being in
fear.
yeah.
Well, yeah, his son being out in that one scene, but his family
Yeah.
survived. Other people's
Yeah,
kids
they were in
died.
like 3 other movies, weren't they?
They were in 3 other movies.
Yeah, well, Jaws
Dennis
2.
Quaid played
Jaws 2.
the son.
Then Jaws
in the
3
third one.
is completely off the rails.
Yeah.
They all suck.
Well, then like
Jaws 2 isn't terrible.
I want to watch Jaws 2, but it's not favorable.
It's at
among
SeaWorld.
the- Huh?
Is that the SeaWorld one?
No,
No,
it takes
that's
place
three.
at the same
I think
place.
that's
Jaws 3
three.
is SeaWorld.
Jaws 3 is 3D.
Yes.
And that's the one
but
where...
it's not also 3D. You can also watch it without 3D.
Yeah, but it's horrible.
It wasn't bad.
Jaws 3?
I watched all 3 of them when I made the Lego.
I
the
wanna
Jaws
watch,
Lego.
I want to watch Jaws 2. Jaws 2 takes place at the same place.
yeah, it wasn't SeaWorld.
I should have brought the Lego out.
But it
if
was-
it's like the
I know.
5th
It was
anniversary.
it was a water theme park. Sea theme park.
It was basically SeaWorld.
With-
it was filmed
with-
at SeaWorld in Orlando.
Oh no, but with like they had the ski stuff.
yeah,
and
that's
like,
what
yeah.
SeaWorld did. Yeah.
And the worst scene in Jaws 3 is like if you're not having the 3D glasses on, you just see the shark slowly hit some glass.
Yeah.
The glass breaks, the water goes in, and the
Yeah.
shark just sits there.
Yes.
And the 3D
It would
makes it
come
look
out.
like
It would move
he's
out,
coming
yeah.
in,
Yeah.
but like you don't watch it
Yeah.
in 3D.
And then
It's kind of plain.
And then you have Jaws 4: The Revenge,
Yes.
which is I think it involves a plane crash and
Something. It wasn't that. I don't think anyone watched it.
I didn't even
I
know
saw
that.
3. I literally watched 1, 2, and 3 while I was making that Lego,
I remember.
and then Back to the Future because I didn't have another. I didn't watch Jaws.
Well, it's
4.
like the great story of the lady whose kid dies, the first kid that dies.
Went to a sandwich shop
Yeah.
over there, and it's like named,
There's a
and it's
sandwich named
the
after
kid.
the kid.
owns the sandwich shop,
Oh, really?
and came out and was like they didn't see each other
He
since
goes,
the
"Ma!"
movie. Yeah, that was a really cool story.
Nice.
But you know what else is also the anniversary?
What?
It's 50 years of Jaws, but it's also 40 years of Goonies.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
that just happened recently, like last couple weeks ago.
And did you see how they're celebrating it, Mark?
They're putting out Goonies 2.
No, Goonies Lego
Oh, I saw
That's
that.
more
yeah,
with
exciting.
the pirate ship with the whole
One-Eyed
scene
Willie's
through
pirate
it.
ship and all
Yeah.
the minifigures.
I would get that.
It's the Lego ideas.
I think it won.
Yeah,
I think it
was
won
one
the
of
grand
ones,
prize.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's one of the ones
Oh,
they're
I get
doing.
the
But
emails.
Yeah.
Brian,
I vote.
it's literally the whole entire like climbing
Oh,
down
whole
through the
pirate ship.
restaurant,
Yeah, everything.
down the
nice.
stones and all that stuff
Yeah,
through the
it's
water.
crazy.
Yeah, it's all inside the pirate ship.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of Lego, I want to talk to you about, you're a Lego aficionado. There's talks. They put a survey out. Potentially getting rid of the paper manual. How do you feel about that, Mark?
Not too bad. I already don't use them mostly.
See, for me, I like not using my phone or anything digital.
Well, I
when
don't use
doing
my
Legos.
phone. I use
But
a
you would
tablet.
have to.
Yeah, I
You'd
use a
ha-
tablet.
You'd have to use a tablet.
Yeah.
Because they potentially want to get rid of the paper
It
manual.
makes sense because what they did is they recently just started with the newer sets getting rid of the plastic bags and are going to
Yes.
paper bags,
Yes.
like compostable bags.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that they would do that next with the books.
I kind of feel like people like it because you just detach. You don't want to look at a screen.
But then you're stuck with all these, like, I literally have
Yeah.
stacks.
But you
of-
could throw those in the recycling bin.
Right,
Yeah, but you kind of feel
you're
like you're
wasting paper too.
Yeah, you kind of feel like you're.
That's the reason why I understand it.
Yeah.
because you're printing all these books.
Just think about all those sets that they have to print all those booklets out for. Whereas if you just do one digital version, it's there. You don't ever have to worry about it.
I know. I like
It's called change, Brian.
I like not having to look at a screen. And plus, I don't have a tablet. I'd have to look at my phone, and that sounds horrible.
Or a computer.
Or a computer.
I'm not going to do my Legos in front of a computer.
Do a laptop.
See, I like the paper. And you just throw it in the recycling bin. Just recycle it.
Yeah, but it's a waste.
People don't, though.
Yeah.
Well, that's not my
People
problem.
throw them away.
Yeah.
Or they sit on a shelf and do nothing for...
Like, I have literally, like, a whole tote full of just...
The books?
Books.
But you can recycle those.
Yeah, but then I feel like I also have the boxes, too.
But that's the thing is...
the boxes.
I throw the boxes
The
away.
problem is, can you? Because depending on the plastic on the pages, you might not be able
they're
to.
recyclable. They're made from recycled paper, so you can throw them away.
Yeah, I don't know. So you guys are pro digital manuals.
I at least understand
I mean, it's
it.
not gonna like deter me from getting Lego.
Oh, I understand that. I think the option...
I mean, I could see it like for...
What about kids who
I'd see
don't
it
have a tablet or phone?
Well, that's the thing. I'd see it like, well, I mean, what kid doesn't have a tablet at this point?
I can understand
But
it more
a parent
for the...
who
I
wants
could
to
see
get
up
their
to a
kid off
certain
of
level.
it.
I could see doing the digital. Like I could see like the smaller sets.
That's what I was going to say. Once you get into the
like
big
all the ones
ones
that are like the little fold out pieces of paper, like
Yeah,
that
yeah.
could be a phone or a tablet. I'd say up to like the big 18 plus sets.
But they're talking about the big ones.
See,
that are
I'm thinking backwards.
They're like Hogwarts
You leave-
and like
you
that. Say
leave
for
the
it's like 3 or
smalls.
4 books.
No, that's what I'm saying. You leave the smalls so you can...
That's what I think for kids.
But the big, huge
Maybe,
ones should
yeah.
be
That's
the
not a bad
digital.
idea. I
Because
guess
then
that.
you don't
that's
have...
why they want to go digital.
Because they're huge.
They're huge.
There's
Yeah.
like multiple books, some of them.
I think
Yes.
the Titanic was 5 or 6 books.
The Holiday Village I got with the trolley car, that was 4 separate books because each
Has its own
thing
book.
with its own book.
So what I was thinking is, for adults, anything that's probably adult-oriented would go digital. But things that are made for like 8 and under, maybe you don't want a kid staring on a phone all the time.
Yeah.
And
No,
it
I'm
would
agreeing,
come
yeah.
with a little fold-out.
I
and
agree
it's
with you. That's
easier
what it means,
to
yeah.
use.
Yeah.
If it's a small books that have one staple in it or just the fold-out ones,
I
that's...
definitely for like the bigger sets, like the motorcycle I did, the bigger, like the Jaws one.
Yeah.
Having a digital version's nicer because you don't have to like have that book. You have to like flip through and like even some of the Star Wars ones, it gets kind of intense.
Yeah.
But
I don't
I
know.
can see like the bigger ones doing it that way.
I have seen with like the online ones, they do give you a 3D rendering, so you can
They
actually
do,
turn it to be like,
You can turn
it
it
goes...
and see what you're looking for and stuff like that.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
I guess I am either or, but I think for kids it would be nice to stay paper, and
Yeah.
for adults, everybody has a phone, everybody has a
I
tablet.
mean, printing's not
You're
getting
right.
cheap either. That's the other thing.
Well,
And ink.
I know.
And also, if they're trying to save money because of tariffs, you got to do what you got to do.
Well, that's the other thing is
I mean, that's
the weight of a book,
Yeah.
depending on how many you
Well,
have.
that's what they were saying.
Yeah,
too.
bring the
weight,
price down.
It would bring it. Well, I doubt. Like,
Well, not
It-
much, but
it
it'd
would
bring it down a
the
little bit.
shipping price.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're not paying for a 10-pound item, you're paying for
It
a
also would be less.
4-pound
It'd be more
item.
cost effective on there, and they wouldn't have to print multiple booklets to then put inside the boxes. They would
Yeah.
just have the QR code or whatever.
Yep.
that you
Yeah, just print it
scan
on the
to
box.
Go onto the thing, and
Yeah. So I
you
get
just
it.
go and do that kind of thing.
I'm not against change. I just wanted your thoughts.
Yeah, I'm for it.
You're for it. I guess I'm in middle. I guess.
I mean, it would be a
doesn't
little
matter.
bit annoying because I would have 2 screens going when I'm doing Lego as opposed to one screen.
You're watching TV.
Well, because I'm watching a movie of some sort, or
Right.
something that's playing in the background while I'm building Lego.
Less screens, the better, in my opinion. But
Well, you're in the wrong neighborhood.
I guess.
Because it's screens on screens on screens from now on.
I know. I hear you. Anything else, Marcus? How was your weekend?
Any TV or anything?
Catch up on anything?
No,
I didn't
not
watch
really.
any TV beyond that.
Really haven't watched much. There's not much really going on the TV side of things.
Yeah, we're in the summer where nothing's really going on.
Yeah, it's that weird time. All the sports are over. Hockey ended. Basketball's over.
Yeah, right now I think
It's
the
that
only
weird
sports are WNBA, baseball, and racing.
Yeah, it's that weird zone where we're kind of like floating until football starts.
Yeah, I'm gonna. This is the summer. I will start watching Andor.
Heard
now
that before.
I know, but I will. I will
Right
start.
after you finish Lord of the Rings.
I'll probably finish Andor before Lord of the Rings.
We're 107 days away from the NHL season to start.
We're gonna come up on the 3rd year in a row of Brian making his New Year's resolution of I'm gonna watch all the Lord of the Rings movies.
I know.
I still can't believe you haven't watched.
Yes, I've seen the first movie.
Yeah,
I've seen
but,
half
like-
of the second.
Yeah,
That's it. I will watch them. But
One of these
Andor,
days.
I'm going to jump in now that like it's a little bit more. I'm not watched like a lot of the shows have ended. Speaking of shows, real quickly, I don't want to spend too much time on this. Josh did share something with me which we found interesting. Ironheart is dropping.
It dropped last night.
It dropped last night.
Was it last night or tonight?
It dropped last night. I tried watching episode 1, and I don't know if it was my Disney Plus or if it was whatever, but it would not play correctly. It would freeze constantly. So I just gave up. I got through like 5 seconds, and I'm like, I'm not dealing with this.
Well, it's interesting that the show is being just dumped in two dumps.
They don't care.
Yeah, they don't care.
No, but that's what I mean. Is if
I only watched the first 5 seconds, like I would say probably more than a minute or two, and the first like intro part of it, I was watching it and I'm like, I don't care about this person. I don't care about this story.
That's my thing. Is like,
I don't care what happens to this person.
If they didn't care, why not just dump it? Why do it over 2 weeks?
Because they're just trying to get something out of it.
Yeah. Because Disney does do week to week, but I think there's no buzz to this show, and they missed the boat. This show should have dropped that summer after
it should have dropped
Black
right
Panther.
after Black Panther 2.
Black Panther, yeah. It waited too
when
long.
it was supposed to, but it just kind of.
And I hate to say it, that
Writer's strike purgatory.
That subplot was the worst part of that movie.
Yeah, I mean, I know you're just.
They were shoehorning it in
to get a person in with a suit.
Yeah.
So you need somebody in there to kind of be that person.
Yeah.
Well, you also they did need some way to justify the Iron Wars or whatever?
Yeah.
Which is not happening.
Which isn't happening now.
No, but that's what I mean. Is so they started this.
Yeah, that was the whole thing
then,
of having her so they could do Armor Wars.
This show has been on the shelf for a while.
Yes, it's been sitting for a bit.
It's been sitting for a while. So
I
they
think
just got to get rid of
getting
it.
it out because it's got stuff in it that involves future stories.
Who knows? I will just watch a nice little recap when it's all done.
Yeah.
But anyway, that happened.
Yeah.
So I think we should jump into Knights of Champions.
Night of Champions.
Ooh, baby.
Night of doing it just to get the money. It's now time for the Geekonomics Wrestling Challenge.
Actually, this is technically called Day of Champions because it's like at 1 p.m. for us.
It's night there.
I know, but for us, it's 1 p.m.
And it's literally going to be one night because they're probably going to be in and out of that area.
Well, they got SmackDown the night before.
There.
Yes, SmackDown there, but it's
They'll be fine.
Hopefully that's a firework. Night of Champions.
I know, right?
It's a firework, right? Yes, it's a firework. Okay, good. Yes, Night of Champions takes place in Riyadh, the beautiful city, progressive, amazing, wonderful city of Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, as Michael Cole calls it, because he has to go through like 9 different ways of saying how nice Riyadh is.
All these adjectives.
Oh my gosh.
Well, and
we're gonna be coming close to the end of
nice,
the 10-year deal, right?
I hate to say it, but they're probably going to re-up it.
Yeah.
Because of money.
Money. Hey, pays the bills.
I guess.
TKO's
it's a different company now, though. That was a WWE deal, not a TKO deal.
Yeah, but TKO picked up a deal for themselves.
Mark,
like with UFC.
I'm just asking. I don't know if I'm just not saying.
I'm
not saying not to do it. I'm just asking that this has been going on for a while.
All the tables have to say Slim Jim now because of this.
Well, because you snap into a table, you snap into a Slim Jim.
It is funny
it's
how
smart
wrestling,
marketing.
It has become like the NASCAR of wrestling because there's just like they just plaster logos on everything now.
Come on, the Frank's Red Hot.
The
Fireball ladder.
Sometimes I was like, Slim Jim table. Now we're
I mean, do you really like? Does it really bother you? It's 2 stickers on a table.
I know, but sometimes
I mean, no one really they don't say it like when they pull it out.
I forget about it.
Oh, they got the Slim Jim table.
I forget about it, but my eyes do go to the Slim Jim logo.
They did.
They do it randomly.
No, I have a feeling they did, and then went. We can't keep doing that.
Yeah, because they pull out tables all the time now.
Yes, that's
that first time it was literally, he went for the Slim Jim table, and it's
that was like they actually had marketed it at that time, so it was like I think
and
that was
the Fireball ladder.
Like the Prime thing was very big at the beginning, and now they just kind of it's just there.
That has gotten so funny now that it's just sitting in the corner, and you could see the wrestlers walk around it, just going, "What the hell is this doing here?"
Yeah, it's the Prime hydration station.
It's just it's a nitpick. That my eyes goes towards these logos all the time. Sometimes I forget about it. Sometimes
I think honestly, if it wasn't as big, it wouldn't be such an issue. But to have
it is big.
No, but for John Cena's pipe bomb, you had this big.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. John Cena does this awesome thing. CM Punk's laying there, and above his head is just a Slim Jim logo.
That's good marketing.
It took me out.
I know it's great marketing, but it's just one of those things
where
where
like if you're a younger person, it probably makes you think, man, I want to get a Slim Jim.
Oh yeah, I want to
I
snap
don't think
into a Slim
anybody's
Jim.
ever said I want a Slim Jim.
I bet you there's people out there that do.
The only people who eat Slim Jims are people who
Our
play
uncle,
Macho Man Randy
our
Savage.
uncle, just to do the Macho Man voice, he would
Snap
get
into a
Slim Jims at
brother.
the convenience store on the way to camp.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
he's like,
brother.
oh yeah, and it's like, oh god.
All right, we want full circle. Let's
Yes.
bring it back.
Okay.
Wrestling.
You
So,
didn't do your
Night of
intro, Mark.
Champions
Night of
is coming up this Saturday. So we have multiple
Mark.
matches.
You didn't do the intro.
He put
Well, I put it in.
post. He
I
puts
put it in
in
after.
post.
I don't
Oh,
have to do
you
it
should
on-
like.
Thanks for blowing up my spot.
I'm
Anyways,
sorry.
here, look at the guy behind the curtain. First match, it's a grudge match between Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross.
Yeah.
We'll start off with the points leader going into Night of Champions. As you see, we have our new belt.
Oh, yes, the big belt in the room. This is what we're going for
This
season
is the
2.
belt I will be taking at the end of the season.
And becoming the only real champion.
And I'll have the only real champion. I'll have 2 belts, and I'll retire both of them.
Marky two belts.
And then we will cancel the wrestling challenge
Marky
forever.
two belts.
I'm going to ruin the wrestling challenge. But then I'm going to save this whole storyline with one random promo that magically makes everyone forget about all the crappy stuff that happened before it.
Well, he just copied CM Punk.
It was
yeah.
basically a carbon copy. But it was
it's
14
still
years
fun.
ago.
But
and no
also-
one who's a fan of wrestling right now,
But also-
i.e. you, does not remember the CM Punk pipe bomb
Well,
promo.
let's take a moment. So I watched it, and I thought that moment was pretty awesome. Then in group chat, you said pipe bomb, and I'm like, what?
Yeah,
So I googled
14
it.
years ago.
Obviously, I didn't watch wrestling then,
Yeah.
and I watched CM Punk's, and I was like, oh my god,
Yeah.
that was epic.
Yeah.
Now John Cena did take a lot of verbatim moments
Yes.
from that, but he added his spin to it.
Yeah.
And I get it. It's history repeating itself. He's
Yes.
giving Punk what Punk gave to the company.
Yeah.
Then I watched this really interesting interview CM Punk did. Someone asked him about the pipe bomb incident, and I guess this is when he had the belt and he was going to leave the
Yes.
company with the belt.
Yes.
So he came on Monday Night Raw, and they said to him, tonight you get the mic and you could air your grievances.
Yeah.
And he goes, really? And he goes, yes.
Yeah.
So they said, write down what you're going to say.
Yeah.
So CM Punk wrote down a bunch
fake
of
speech.
a bunch of BS.
Yes.
He gets in there, and then he just went at it, and he
Yeah.
said it was more just off the cuff. And the fact that he said hi to someone is because he lost his train of thought.
Yes.
And he was trying to get himself back on track. So he broke the fourth wall.
Yeah.
That was him trying to rein it back in.
Yeah.
Then he said they cut the mic because he did go after his kids, which is funny
Yes.
because all that stuff did happen.
Yeah.
And then when he was talking about the bullying, he said them
Yes.
cutting the mic was what they did because
Yeah.
he would have just kept going.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of wrestling history I didn't know about,
Yeah.
and I thought it was epic watching CM Punk's. It gives more context to the Cena stuff.
Yes.
And I think people who watch wrestling.
Because as the pipe bomb was going on, when CM Punk was doing it, John Cena was laying in the ring.
Yes.
And now CM Punk's laying in
Also-
the ring.
Yeah.
And Cena's
Yeah,
doing
Also,
his.
It was just a
happened
reversal.
it happened during a match with R-Truth.
Yes,
It
it
did happen
happened
in
with
match.
our
Yes.
Truth too, which was
Yes.
I thought it
Who's
was
been the only constant during this whole
yes, yes. I thought it was really
Yeah.
well done.
I know,
I mean,
but having Ron do that whole thing again,
Yeah.
and it's just like, wow. It's,
Yeah.
and what they're doing with Cena is obviously it's like the greatest hits with the guy when he's
Yes.
going after retirement. I thought it was a fun moment. I know the history now. I appreciate the CM Punk. I like CM Punk more than Cena, but like I appreciate what he did and what they're doing now. It was fun.
Yeah.
It was a good little thing.
I mean, it
wasn't
like
bad.
I said to Claire.
Did you hate it that much? You seem to enjoy it.
I only liked it because it was like the thing of him mentioning like Claudio and those guys.
Yeah.
And it was like, but then I was thinking about it. It's like, well, like you're just rehashing the story over again.
Well, it's a callback.
And it's like
It's just a callback to what happened to
the
him.
only way this story is gotten interesting is because they're using old stuff to make this relevant again, which is finally what we've been asking for. It's like, if you're going to do this, like do it. Like give us something.
Yeah, I thought
just
it was
been kind of
great.
like blah for so long now.
I think it's picked up with
That's like-
R-Truth. I
yes.
think it's picked up with more people gunning for the belt.
Yeah.
With Seth, with CM Punk, with like all these other people going around Cena.
Yeah.
Before it was just Cena just doing whatever
Yes.
and nobody cared.
Well, it was boring.
Yeah.
So it was just Cena being poopy and not actually
honestly,
doing
Monday
anything.
Night Raw has been on fire. I think
Yes.
sometimes Monday Night Raw is better than PLEs.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah,
I
for
mean,
sure.
I thought
Yeah.
this was a
So it'd be interesting
good time.
because we'll get to it at the end of this.
yeah.
Who is going to be the person going after? Possibly.
I don't know. So
'Cause
my
both
pick,
guys are from SmackDown, so that means whoever wins is going after Cena at SummerSlam.
right?
So we'll see what happens.
Okay.
But first off, like we'd said, Sami Zayn up against Karrion Kross. We'll start with you, Brian. Who do you got for this one?
So interesting. Everybody has been really enjoying Cross's like mic work and his behind the scenes stuff. He actually has been wrestling, but it's the
Main event.
Main event, so you don't see it on
He's
TV.
been the star of main event for like the past 2 months.
Yeah, he's wrestled a few times.
Yes.
We did WrestleMania 40 was the last time he wrestled that we saw him on
Yeah.
TV
Yeah.
or PLE, I should say.
Yeah.
So for the fact that they threw this in there, it was like weird. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, well, Sammy, yeah, this is a good place for Sami Zayn. Does
Yes.
very well here. He was here last year.
Yes, he was.
Would he wrestle Gunther last time?
I
At
think
this?
so.
I think it was Gunther.
I think it was.
I'm going to say it's going to be Sammy, but I think Karrion Kross, we all saw what happened on Monday Night Raw. He punches him, and then he smiles and laughs. He's like, I
It
got
was
him.
all part of his plan, yeah.
The plan, my opinion is, I don't really see Karrion Kross winning at this, but I see Sami Zayn winning because Karrion Kross makes him win, and I think this is part of his plan. I think it's going to be like, listen, look what I made you do. You need to do this. And I think there's going to be something going on. Kross
Okay.
is going to be manipulating Sammy.
Okay.
I think Sammy wins because Kross wants him to win,
Okay.
and he pushes him to the edge.
Okay. So Sami Zayn's your pick.
Yeah.
Josh, who you got?
I agree with Brian, but I think it's going to be the other way around. I have a feeling Karrion Kross is going to make or try to make Sammy snap, and because that's what he wants.
Yeah.
He wants him to go crazy.
Wants him to turn bad.
Yeah.
Heel, yeah.
So I have a feeling Karrion Kross is possibly going to win by disqualification because he's going to keep egging Sammy on and pissing him off so that he just becomes the bad guy and Karrion Kross will win.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I agree with both of you a little bit on points. I think they've been doing this thing with Karrion Kross for so long with this backstage stuff and like his internet stock has
social media.
been blowing up.
Yeah.
He's got like a YouTube documentary that he did about the 40th WrestleMania 40 that's on YouTube that you can watch.
Oh,
It's
I
called
gotta watch
Killer. And it's like when he goes and does Bloodsport and all that. So it's like a whole story about him and like wanting to be like taken seriously, basically. It's really well done. He does it himself. He produced, I think he did it or someone worked with him on it.
Yeah.
But it's all his story and everything. So I think with all that, and Sammy's character has just kind of been hovering in this weird purgatory of
Yes.
what's
Winning
he
and
doing?
losing and
Yeah,
not
what's he
really-
doing?
yeah.
Where is he going?
Without the bloodline, he's just kind of floating around.
Sammy has always been stuck in this weird spot of he's too big to not be a champion of something, but he's not big enough to be the world champion.
He's in the middle between a
He's
mid
like
card
that
and
weird,
a champion.
that weird purgatory spot.
Yeah.
So I think Karrion Kross is going to win
Okay.
because I think it's just
As much as I picked Sam. This
the
was
story makes no sense if Sammy wins.
this is a tough one because I do want Kross to win, but
Because I think
just
this
don't
is
know.
this is the beginning of that story.
Yeah.
There has to be something. If Karrion Kross loses this, what was the whole
What's the
point of
point?
all this backstage stuff?
Well,
what was
like
the
I
whole
said,
point of all this?
Like I said, he's pushing him.
No, but I think that there has to be like Josh said, it might be a disqualification win. He might win that way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's going to be a cut and dry win,
Right.
but I don't think Sammy is going to win either.
It's either going to be that or Sammy goes to use the chair and then goes, no, no, no. And then Karen
Cross takes him out and gets distracted. Scarlett distracts, and Cross uses the chair on Sammy, and then something like that happens. But next up, we have a newly added match. This Sami Zayn Karrion Kross match replaced the Dom AJ Styles match because Dom is hurt.
He pulled his mustache.
He pulled his mustache. Strained his mustache. This match is replacing the women's tag team championship match, which was supposed to happen, but Liv Morgan's hurt, so now Raquel.
Who would have been the tag team match?
I don't know. There was supposed to be some. The rumor is there was supposed to be some sort of women's tag team championship match.
Right.
At this event. Not sure who
We
was
don't
going to
know
be.
who it was.
But anyways,
Okay.
it's Rhea Ripley against Raquel Rodriguez in a street fight. Who you got, Josh?
Just because of story and it makes sense, I think it's going to be Raquel with help from Roxanne, possibly.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
You know, because they sort of did that Monday, so it just makes sense for like it getting to the point where Rhea's winning, and then all of a sudden she comes out and helps her, and they're trying to establish that they try to make them friends.
Well, they're basically gonna
And then
she's gonna become the new Liv.
Liv comes back, and they're like, "What the hell?"
It's kind of weird that they're gonna basically do the same storyline they did with Rhea, but now with Liv,
right?
Because they both hurt their shoulders.
Yeah. No,
So
but
it's
honestly,
like the
that's
same
exactly
exact
what I was.
storyline.
That's exactly what I was going to
It's
say.
the exact same storyline, basically. It's like now another new chick's gonna just appear and just take over that spot until that person, and then you're basically just moving Rhea out to a different story and putting Liv back into the story now with Roxanne and having it be the opposite way around.
Oh, it's going to get good.
Yeah, I know you're excited about it.
I'm excited.
So who do you got, Josh?
I said Raquel.
Raquel? All right. Brian?
So this one and the Sammy one were the two that were like 50-50. This match is my second match I'm looking forward to. Rhea Ripley, top notch.
It's going to be a great match, though.
This is going to be a great match.
Well, that's official.
Raquel Rodriguez, I think I'm on it at Raw. I think we actually saw her shine. Unfortunately, with Liv Morgan being out, I think this gives Raquel the spotlight. Also, I do agree with Josh with Roxanne showing up, always trying to help and trying to get part of the Judgment Day, and they're not really letting her in. We saw Raquel put her arm around her, and it almost was like she put her under her wing.
Yes.
So the student has become the teacher.
Yes.
She was under Liv Morgan's wing. Now she is the teacher, and she's going to bring Roxanne under.
Yeah.
And I think her trying to constantly help and allowing it to happen when they put Rhea in her place this past Monday. Now, on a normal circumstance, if Roxanne was not involved and this was just a back and forth, I would give this to Rhea because I just feel like it would play out. That's the way it would play out. But I do believe because it's a street fight.
Yeah.
And
No rules.
With Roxanne hovering around, this is going to be the defining moment for Raquel to convince everybody we're bringing her in.
Yeah.
I got the win because of this.
Yeah.
And yes,
Make her official, remember?
I think this will push that narrative.
Then they give her the other belt.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that.
She's going to replace Liv.
That's what I was going to say. The same thing.
Team.
Can she give her the belt?
Yeah, they did it with,
because they did it.
Naomi.
And they
with
also
Jade.
did it with
Okay.
So they just do the same
Right,
thing.
you're right. So if
No, but they also did it with Lyra and Becky and
Bailey.
So
They did it with Damage Control when Damage Control.
Okay.
Yeah.
So thank you. I mean, I'm glad to know that because I really feel like
Heck,
if
New
they can
Day-
defeat Rhea
New Day
Ripley,
had all three of them as the
Yeah.
champion, and they
Yeah.
rotated out.
so if they
Freebird rules.
can defeat, if she can defeat Rhea Ripley with her help, this defines not only
Roxanne.
Raquel but Roxanne as a member. And I honestly believe Raquel, her character will grow because Liv's gone.
So you're picking Raquel.
No, Rhea Ripley. No, just kidding.
God, Brian. I understand. I added to it, yes, but it's like.
Sorry, am I long-winded? Am I really into this? Yeah, of course.
Do you think they can put the belt on somebody else while they're tagged? Yes, they've done it before, Brian. It's okay.
All right.
I think Raquel's going to win.
Yay.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Sorry, I've been thinking about this all week. What do you want from me?
This podcast is only supposed to be an hour, right, Brian?
I know. Sorry, it's my fault. I know.
know.
I
It's
get too into it. What do you want?
All right, now it's time for the men's United States Championship match. It's the champion Jacob Fatu up against Solo Sikoa. Who you got, Brian?
This is going to stay with Jacob Fatu. I think Solo is going to bring out what's his face though. The shenanigans are going to happen. What's his JC is going to come out. JC Chazé. JC Chazé is going to come out.
As I call him.
And that's what I'm going to call him for now on.
I don't know why they changed his name to that.
It's so stupid.
JC is going to come out. I think Jacob Fatu, this is a defining moment for him to keep this belt. And I think we'll have a rematch or something bigger at SummerSlam. I think it's just building to something else. So Jacob Fatu is going to keep it.
Okay. Josh, who you got?
I'm on the same path as Brian, but I have a feeling they're going to bring another Samoan out or somebody else.
Oh, yeah, they always do.
Because one of the other Rikishi's, Umaga's nephew's been floating, or son's been floating around, and he's been doing stuff with WWE. He was at Fanatics and hanging out with Randy Orton, so I wouldn't be surprised he makes an appearance and Jacob wins.
I agree with both of you in the different ways that you're going about this, but I think Solo's going to win, and the reason why Solo's going to win is because Hukaleo is going to debut, who is the other brother of the two Tongans.
And they disappeared, the Tongans.
Well, they're both hurt. One's hurt, and the other one's just waiting for the other one to get healed so they can, or they might reappear.
Yeah, who knows? But it seems like a SummerSlam thing.
Yes, so I feel like the two brothers might reappear, costing Jacob the win. Solo becomes champion, and then Jacob has to go and start his own crew to take out Solo and his crew.
Yeah,
so
that's not bad.
I can see Solo.
I can see that happening.
I know my wife's going to get mad at me because she's like, belts never change in these shows. I don't know why you always do that to yourself. Now it's time for the Queen of the Ring final.
Claire's going to make her picks, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
We got Asuka up against Jade Cargill. Who you got, Josh?
This is a tough one for me because they both make sense to win. But you're basically forcing Asuka into a storyline for no reason. Because she's Raw, right?
Correct.
She would fight Io Sky.
She would fight Io Sky.
There is no story.
Not Io Sky, Becky.
No.
Yeah, that's right. It's for the championship.
Yeah. And Becky's the Intercontinental
That
champion.
wouldn't make sense because they're both... I know they're not Damage Control, but it's like you're bringing her back just to fight her friend for no reason.
Yeah.
Or Jade fighting Tiffy with all the other stuff that's going on. Because what I want it to be is Jade wins the championship and then Naomi cashes in on her. So I'm going to pick Jade to win.
That's me.
Oh, is that you?
Isn't that weird?
I was so confused. What's going on?
I thought it was like a mouse or something.
No,
back
I
there.
shake my foot. And
you squeaked?
The chair is making like a...
Oh, I hear it now. I thought it was air conditioning.
So you picked Jade, huh?
I picked Jade. Just because I want the Naomi cash in.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I say Jade too. Just like Josh said, Asuka coming back.
Not Ahsoka.
Ooh, that would be... She has a lightsaber. Her coming back doesn't make any sense right now. Granted, she is amazing, but Jade Cargill with the storyline makes way more sense.
Yeah.
So it's going to go to Jade. Also, something I've been saying since I started watching, like, I remember Jade being the tag team. I'm like, she needs to be solo. And I think her going for a belt just solidifies her being a solo act rather than a tag team.
Yeah. I also picked Jade Cargill, and I'll tell you why in a few minutes. Stay tuned, kids.
Okay.
Next up, we have the King of the Ring final. It's Randy Orton up against his protege, Cody Rhodes. Who you got, Brian?
Easy one. this is going to be Cody Rhodes because this is setting up for a John Cena Cody Rhodes rematch for SummerSlam. I don't see Randy Orton fighting Cena again. I think it's just setting us up for SummerSlam. So Cody Rhodes.
All right. Josh, what you got?
I think the opposite. I think it makes more sense for Randy because you'd be killing any momentum Cody had by having him face John Cena at SummerSlam and losing. Because Cena isn't going to lose at SummerSlam. So it makes more sense to try and set up the Randy trying to beat him to tie the championship title reign. Or, it sucks because they already did it earlier, but it doesn't make sense for it to be Cody to go up and lose. Or for Cody to go up against him and have Seth try and cash in. It's too early for that, in my opinion. So I think it's going to be Randy.
Okay. I'm on the fence on this one.
It's a
tough one. Because, like you said, Cody makes sense.
Yeah.
But like Josh says, is it too early for the Cody story to finish with Cena? Or should they hold that until Survivor Series? Where it's literally the last chance to get it off Cena. And then Cody saves wrestling. And you have your whole big hoopla story. Then Cena goes off into the sunset, defeated. And then has to have like the reemergence of good Cena. Or do you do that at SummerSlam where Cena loses, but the crowd started to turn at the last SmackDown, and Cena was starting to become a little bit more like old Cena again because the crowd was starting to come on his side.
People were all cheering for him.
Yeah, so it's kind of a weird thing.
It is weird.
But then you got Randy, who's been talking about 15 for a while. And there's a chance that the Viper could always turn to the Viper again. And you get bad Randy back, which I think is the better Randy. So, playing the points game as well, I'm going to go with Cody Rhodes.
Wow, that was a swerve. I was like, where's Mark going with this?
I mean, it's only a one-pointer, but still.
Yeah.
Now it's time for the big match. We just went through all that story to get to this. The undisputed WWE Championship, John Cena versus CM Punk. One last time.
Yes.
Who you got, Brian?
Even though CM Punk's my guy and I would want him to win, I just don't think that's happening. I think John Cena keeps the belt because we're going to SummerSlam. And who knows what's going to happen at SummerSlam, but John Cena's going to hold on to this belt for a while. Like I said, this is kind of like this greatest hits. He's on tour playing the greatest hits, and that's what he's doing. Now, will Seth Rollins cash in? I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's too early. But there's that possibility that CM Punk gets screwed over by Seth Rollins and him trying to cash in and lose. I don't know. Anything can happen. John Cena. Yeah, and will. John Cena's going to keep the belt. CM Punk, unfortunately, will lose. But I think it's going to be a fun match. This one and the Rhea and Raquel are the two matches I'm looking forward to. So, yeah, John Cena keeps.
All right. Josh, who you got?
Cena. It doesn't... If you're going to do it, you got to go all the way through with it. You can't have him lose now. Because it doesn't make sense for him to lose it.
Yeah.
It sucks, because I'd like to see CM Punk with it, but it feels like they're going to have all these championship matches with his former rivals.
Yes.
Just for him to win them out and then play it out.
And, we could have a big moment like WrestleMania 40. Where all these people come and help Cody Rhodes win back the belt.
It's a possibility.
It's a possibility.
I as well go with John Cena, and I say the reason for this is they're going to do this kind of the way they did the Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes thing is the first try at it never succeeds. And I think this is the beginning of the story that Josh said with the Money in the Bank, where Punk will win the championship at Survivor Series and will stop Cena from doing what CM Punk did, leaving with the belt.
Yeah, especially if they're retreading history and they're doing the greatest hits.
Yes.
That makes sense because CM Punk did walk out. So if Punk's like, no, you can't do this.
Yes.
I think that.
So Punk
it
ends up being the person that. So this is the big story in my head right now. Punk wins the championship Survivor Series. Cody wins at Night of Champions, goes up against Cena, loses to Cena at SummerSlam. That breaks Cody. Cody then goes into a deep, dark depression type character.
Becomes the Nightmare.
Where he becomes the Nightmare. The Nightmare overtakes him.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's going on in the background. Then CM Punk beats Cody Rhodes, becomes champion. Thunder hits. No, at Survivor Series.
Okay.
CM Punk wins the championship.
Beats John Cena, you mean?
The music beats Cena, yes, win the championship. Music hits. Seth comes out, cashes in, beats CM Punk, and now you've set up the CM Punk storyline with Cody Rhodes, the redemption of Cody Rhodes storyline as well going on.
Mm-hmm.
And you got a whole year.
It just makes sense because you're setting up
you got
more
multiple years of
storylines,
stories,
especially
going on.
when you now have John Cena going out saying, "Oh, people are asking him, oh, you're not really retiring. You're going to come back." He's like, "Nope,
no,
unless something really crazy happens, I am never wrestling again."
Yeah,
he says, "I'm done.
Yeah.
This is it."
I mean, I like that theory, Mark. We'll see it play out, but I do like it.
So now it's time for our bonuses.
We have bonuses.
Which can and cannot be happening.
We're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
But let's do this.
So we're going to do some SmackDown matches because we don't know what's happening.
Are these TBA SmackDown
These
matches?
are TBAs. They're supposedly previewed online all over the place.
Okay.
That's happening this Friday.
Okay.
If they don't, we won't do anything with them.
You
They
get
just,
no
nothing
points, but
happens.
if they happen,
you
get
points.
So first off, we have the WWE Women's Championship last women's standing match. This one is officially happening. This was announced last week
Really?
during SmackDown, so we know this is happening.
Okay.
Tiffany Stratton, the champion, up against Nia Jax. Who you got, Josh?
Just because it doesn't make sense, and I have a feeling other people would help out, Tiffany's going to win. I have a feeling somebody's going to either come down and attack Nia or going to find a way to make Tiffany win.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be Tiffany.
So I'm assuming I'm next, Mark.
Yes.
So I have a bonus for Money in the Bank, which that
Naomi will
cash in on Tiffany,
yes,
but will not get it.
Yes.
Now, we actually had a moment where she tried to cash in.
Yes, and Nia stopped her.
Nia's like, get back there. So I think this could be the match that Naomi... I'm going to say Tiffany Stratton... Oh, my God. I think Tiffany keeps it.
You need it. You need it. You need her to win.
Tiffany keeps it, but the thing is, I would get points for SmackDown.
Yes.
I would get points for Tiffany.
Yes.
But I would not if
Naomi won. You wouldn't get the full vote.
I wouldn't get the full. That's still
honestly,
that's still 10 points.
Honestly, she could still lose because she could wait until Tiffany is beat. That's what I was trying to say is, I could see it being where Nia beats the crap out of Tiffany.
Yeah.
And when she goes to win, somebody comes in, either like you said, Naomi comes in to cash in.
Yeah.
Hits Nia Jax with the briefcase.
Yeah.
Cashes in, goes to pin Tiffany, and
Tiffany
rolls her up and wins.
Right.
Because it's the last. It's not a match. Well, that's the other thing. It's the last man standing.
So someone has to be down for a while.
And it's not a pin. It's someone has to be counted out, right, as a count of 10.
Correct.
Knocked out.
Correct.
So Tiffany, for me, wins. And I'm hoping at least I can get like SmackDown points and Tiffany points. But like, will she get it? That's where those last points may or may not get. So Tiffany, and I pray to God for a cash in. There you go.
All right. So I'm also picking Tiffany. And the reason why this makes sense is Naomi will cash in and win the belt, because that makes sense why Jade won Queen of the Ring.
Yes.
Because there's no other reason for her to win
Right.
this thing, to get a championship match at SummerSlam, because there's no storyline
Right.
unless it's Naomi.
I know.
And then if you have her going up against Naomi at SummerSlam,
It makes more sense.
but Naomi is so excited that she's going to cash in and win, and then she realizes, oh no,
I gotta
the
fight.
next night
I gotta go up against
Jade wins Queen of the Ring.
Yeah.
And now she's stuck fighting Jade,
Not Tiffany.
not Tiffany.
That's a good
Yeah.
setup for a story, honestly.
Yeah.
I know. So I kind of regret saying she won't get it.
Yeah.
But at least I'll still get
Yeah.
10 points
You will.
out of it.
You will get some points.
I think I would get some points too.
I think all of us have some sort of points in there.
Yeah.
Women's U.S. Championship match also is announced, supposedly. Zelina Vega is the champion up against Julia. This match I remember them talking about last week, so I think this is actually happening.
All right. So we're not sure, but
Yes, I'm about 80% sure. So who you got, Brian?
I'm gonna say Zelina Vega keeps it. Only because Julia, correct me if I'm wrong, she just came from NXT, right?
Yes.
did.
She's one of the recent call-ups.
Yeah, so I feel like you got to keep the beef going. So if this match does happen, I think Vega keeps it.
Okay. Who you got, Josh?
Hold on. Sorry, I got a text message. Brian said, it doesn't make sense for Julia to win it. So I think it's going to be Vega.
I as well think Vega, because it makes no sense for Julia to win this early. Final match we got is the WWE Tag Team Champions. It's the Street Profits up against the Wyatt Six of Dexter Lumis and Joe Gacy. Who you got, Josh?
Is this
I would
official?
love for White Six to win it.
It's not official, but
It's not official,
basically official.
but it has been talked
They've
about.
been talking about it for a while.
But it just, they had to figure something out with the tag team titles, because they really haven't done anything with it outside of that PLE like in February or March.
It was a SmackDown,
No, but that's what I mean. It's
that
like
ladder match. It was like
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
best
then
part of the
yeah.
whole thing.
That's what I mean. So it's been like
Right before WrestleMania, I think, or after
That's what I mean. Is they
WrestleMania.
haven't really done anything like really
I
active.
mean, it's
with
more
it.
than they're doing with the men, the Raw
Yeah, well,
ones.
yeah, it's, yeah. You're right.
I don't even know who even has those.
The New Day,
Oh, that's right.
New Day does.
but they've been doing their storylines.
Oh,
where
that's right. They're
yeah.
fighting Who's He Wants It
Yeah.
on Monday. That's right.
So I think the Street Profits are going to win it. I would like to see a White Six win, but it just it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Street Profits, I think you're right. Also, Wyatt Six, we just had kind of like a not the best showing of them in the ring. It felt a little clunky, so I just feel like they need a little bit more time in the ring, and I want them to be out there more because they're a cool group. So I think Street Profits will just push them, get them out in the ring more, and then potentially they could win a belt. Not now.
All right. I'm doing my one flyer. I'm saying Wyatt Six wins.
Okay. Any reason or just?
Because why would you have this story if they're not going to end up winning?
If
And
it
if
happens,
the whole tag team division's like going after them and like afraid of them, and they were to lose to the champions, then what was the whole point of it?
Yeah.
well, Street Profits are just showing they're the boss.
Yeah. Yeah.
If that match happens, right? We don't know.
If that match happens. So that's what we got for this week. Sorry to blow out of here so quickly, but we got stuff to do, things going on. It's a busy time.
That's why we're doing it on a Wednesday.
As always, this is what happens when we do a show on a Wednesday.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
We'll have a lot to talk about next week.
Oh, yeah.
We're getting close to Superman time.
Superman will be the first week of July.
So there you go. That's
I
like
think
next week.
I think. Well,
We got July 4th, and then we got the week after that.
July
I think
8th.
Yeah, so the
Second
following
week
week.
of July,
Second week of July. So it's coming up Superman time. So next week, Night of Champions review. Following that, Superman. A lot going on. It's going to get busy. But as always, be safe, be well, be kind.
Rewind. Please like and subscribe. Good night, Rocky.
Night, Bobby. See you, Howard.
Stay cool, everybody.
Stay cool, kids.
Oh, man. That was a good one.
And we're out.
We're out.
We're out.